In Justice League, Throne of Atlantis, we're basically seeing how Aquaman becomes Aquaman. Is there anything you found surprising in the bring that story to the screen? Something maybe you didn't quite realize about Aquaman before?
Well, just the fact that we were doing an origin story, so the fact that he had a background that was worth telling, that that his relationship with his father, his surface world father, and how he felt estranged from his mother, who he didn't really know, and he didn't know the story behind her not being there. So the fact that there's a sense of abandonment and a sense of lack of home, and that's the movie's ultimately about him discovering his true place in the world. So those are elements about the character that I think humanize him and make him relatable to people who might just write him off as a joke. So those are aspects I liked.
Tell us a little bit about the dynamic between the Justice League members with Aquaman coming into the scene. Is there anyone in particular he might clash with?
We spent so much time setting up his personal life that by the time he encounters the Justice League, they kind of have to just get in sync. And, of course, Batman's the most distrusting person on the group because he's the most human, and I think that's just his genetic, his makeup is to be suspicious. But everyone else seems to, they're more. And Aquaman's not like a weird guy. He's not like, he's not like Martian Manhunter, who if he showed up, you go, what the hell? So, he's a big blonde dude. People are going to go, oh, okay. I guess I can follow that guy. So, no, there wasn't much tension except from Batman.
My last question, because we only have a couple of minutes, is that you have Rosario Dawson in the movie, who's a huge comic book fan in her own right.
It's very good. Very good.
Can you tell us a little bit about her take on Wonder Woman?
Well, of course, she knows comics. She knows her stuff. She knows exactly how to put her voice in the right place. She knows who Diana is, and so there's very little directing needed because she's a fan. I think she did Artemis for us in the first Wonder Woman animated movie, and she just kind of pulled back from that a little bit, so she's not as harsh as she was as Artemis, but she has that regal quality in her voice, but yet likability and relatability that you expect from Diana. So she was great.
Justice League, Throne of Atlantis, kind of no pressure. It's only your movie, you got to carry it. You're Aquaman. So tell us a bit about Aquaman's arc in the film, if you will. It is obviously an origin story, but what's going to make this Aquaman, what makes this Aquaman tick, if you will?
Well, I think that, like you said, it is an origin story. So personally, I always think it's interesting when we see a character kind of the birth of a character. And that's why I love origin story stuff. But when we open this thing up, without giving too many spoilers out, he's a guy dealing with some very human struggles, dealing with a lot of anger issues and that type of stuff. So he's just a regular guy who's down on life, and the superhero thing kind of evolves out of that, and really, we don't really see a whole lot of the superhero thing until towards the end when you see a little bit more of that. So really, this is about Arthur Curry and how he comes to be Aquaman, reluctantly, and I think that's always interesting. So yeah, I'm excited to not only be a part of this, but then also see where this thing goes in the future and see if there's going to be more Aquaman and see if how he's going to play into the Justice League. And they haven't told me anything, so I really don't know. I'm hoping that he's around. I'd love to be around.
Now, what is sort of the dynamic like between the Justice League members and this team in this version? Sure. Are they kind of I don't know, they're all getting along, or is there divisions in the ranks, and Aquaman has to kind of pull them together? Like, what sort of what's going on with them?
Yeah, I don't know how much I can say about it or not, but I'll just tell you that from Arthur Curry's perspective, he's not jumping right into it. I think the Justice League, they see a necessity for him in the way that he's able to be a part of both worlds, the Atlanteans and the human world as well. That's a very unique position that he's in, both physically, being powerful, but also just understanding the mentality of both worlds. So I think it's a necessity for the Justice League to have him on board. Again, we don't see a whole lot of the superhero kind of stuff until a little bit later on, and at this point, the Justice League it feels a little bit chaotic, sort of. So I think that towards the end, we see maybe a direction where it's going a little more clearly. I'm trying not to give too much away here.
Well, are there any Justice League members that he just simply doesn't like when he meets them? I have to imagine Batman's probably tough to warm up to.
Yeah, Batman I think would be tough for anybody to warm. They seem to all have a bit of a respect, but a bit of a tough time dealing with his personality. But I think we'll probably get into that maybe more in the future on his relationships with each individual person in the Justice League. But right now, it's an introduction to the team as a whole, for the most part. Yeah.
And I think I only have time for one more question. But what do you think of the idea of Jason Momoa as a big screen Aquaman? He's certainly it's a different kind of idea of the character.
It's a departure from what Aquaman is classically drawn as or portrayed as, but you never know. We kind of went with the Christopher Nolan Batman, we went real dark and gritty, and it seemed to trigger something in people that they love. So I don't know. Who knows? We'll see what they do with it. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it. Yeah.